Awaiting President-elect Donald Trump's very first public speech since his stunning Election Day victory. This is Outnumbered. I'm Meghan McCain, and here today, Sandra Smith, co-host of After the Bell on Fox Business, Melissa Francis, Democratic strategist Julie Rodzinski, and today's hashtag One Lucky Guy, the executive producer of Imus in the Morning, Bernard McGurk, and sir, you are outnumbered.
Well, thank you very much. I'm honored to be outnumbered, and by the way, happy Friday Eve.
Happy Friday Eve.
I like that. Day. First day of November.
You can see that at 10 Eastern, all here on FNC.
All right, and as we...
Fox News Alert, we are awaiting President-elect Donald Trump's very first public speech since his stunning Election Day victory. This is Outnumbered. I'm Meghan McCain, and here today, Sandra Smith, co-host of After the Bell on Fox Business, Melissa Francis, Democratic strategist Julie Rodzinski, and today's hashtag One Lucky Guy, the executive producer of Imus in the Morning, Bernard McGurk, and sir, you are outnumbered.
Well, thank you very much. I'm honored to be outnumbered, and by the way, happy Friday Eve.
Happy Friday Eve.
I like that. Day. First day of November. The holiday season is in full swing right here. The Christmas tree got lit last night. I'm a happy guy to be sitting here with you ladies.
Oh, you're pumped up. I like it.
Up, man.
Awesome. I love it.
Come on, it's a great day. And with the news that's following later on, this is fantastic. I love the whole thing.
Wow.
All right, good. Let's get this thing started.
What is he drinking?
President-elect Donald Trump is on his way to Indianapolis. There you see his plane and Mr. Pence's plane. Both men are heading out to visit Carrier's factory and announce a deal to keep 1,000 jobs in Indiana. It's an agreement that allows Mr. Trump to deliver on one of his biggest campaign promises before even taking office. After his speech, he'll head to Cincinnati, Ohio to kick off his thank you tour. It's all to honor his supporters in states that helped him win. You know, Bernie, I'm going to go to you first. There's a little bit of controversy about this thank you tour. I actually thought a lot about it. I'm a fan of it. I compared it to Howard Stern thanking his affiliates when he became #1 in each market. What do you think of him going on this tour?
I think it's fantastic. It shows that he wants to give back. I mean, it's unprecedented, first of all. It's fantastic. Look, if Hillary had won, she'd be on a yacht somewhere in the Caribbean with the elites, with Beyonce and Jay-Z or whatever. This shows that he's in touch with the common man. Look, a week ago, this campaign right now is swimming. It's at a peak. A week ago, it was in disarray. There were people by a bunch of Nazis. Everybody was talking about that stuff. And now he's putting people back to work. He's only the president-elect. He's putting people back to work. He's thanking the people. I think it's a great time. And all these naysayers talking about, let's wait and read the fine print and all that stuff. Just relax. Real people are actually getting jobs back. We should be happy, at least for a day.
Melissa, I want to go to you on this Carrier deal. He saved 1,000 jobs out of 2,100 jobs that were originally going to go to Mexico. Right. What do you make of this deal?
I do think it's genius. Of course, he used a combination of carrots and sticks, right? They were going to pull back some of the tax incentives that that company was getting to be in that state, and they put pressure on the parent company, United Technologies, who makes jet engines. They sell missiles to the government, all kinds of things. They said, wait a second, we do a lot of business with you. We do not want you taking these jobs overseas. Down to Mexico. At the same time, I don't like inefficiency in the economy, so they have to make it work economically. He can do that by lowering the tax burden, lowering the regulation. Transportation, they spend less on that because they're closer to where the goods will finally go. You've got to make it make economic sense, because if it doesn't, then the products are just more expensive. That doesn't help anyone. But he's smart enough to go through and make the deals work, and he can replicate it. I think the Obama administration was too stupid and lazy, yes, I said it, to get out there and make more deals like this.
On that note, in Steve Mnuchin's words, he said the president-elect and the vice president-elect picked up the phone and called the CEO of United Technologies and told them we want to keep jobs here. Can't remember the last time a president did that. This is part of his thank you tour. He said jobs, jobs, jobs. This is what he campaigned on. He's picking up the phone and guess what? Calling American businesses, the CEO of major corporations in this country, and asking what do we need to do to keep those jobs there. Listen, he's following through. He said he was going to put killers in place. So far he's putting Steve Mnuchin. He just put Wilbur Ross at the helm. Commerce Secretary. As a compliment, he meant killers, as we always remind everybody, to do this, to keep these jobs here. So amazing to see him already doing this in, what, week 4 as President-elect Trump?
The question I want to ask both of you, because you're obviously financial experts, they get $7 million in tax breaks, the carrier systems. Is that normal? Is that
I have no
criticism of this?
I have no problem with tax incentives because you're letting a company keep the money that it's making. I think anytime we hand money over to the government, they waste and abuse it. So I don't like revenue going to the government. They're keeping more of what they have. They were going to take away those incentives if they moved the job away. So to me, I don't have a problem with it, but I know that there's a lot of criticism out there.
Julie, this is obviously Mike Pence's home state. I'm sure this had played a factor into this.
Sure.
What do you make of all of this?
Well, first of all, it did because of the fact that Indiana is giving them the incentive, so Mike Pence happens to be the governor of Indiana. But look, it's $7 million in tax breaks, as you pointed out. 800 jobs stay, which is wonderful for those 800 people. 1,300 are still moving to Mexico. So it's not that he's keeping all the jobs here. But to me, what's fascinating about this is I'm not sure that there's a commitment from carrier after they get these incentives to actually stay. And I've seen this happen a lot on the state level, where you get tax incentives on the state level to stay. The companies accept the incentive and then move. And so, to me, the follow-up and the devil's in the details.
Julie, only if it's not economically beneficial for them to not stay here.
But my point is, it's always going to be cheaper for them.
First time you've been on since?
It's true. It's appropriate it's with you.
Has it hit you, the magnitude of all this?
Well, it does hit me, but there's so much work to be done. And as you said, we worked out a deal with Carrier where they're going to keep over 1,100 people in the United States, in this case in Indiana. And it's been a great day, and they're a great company. They were moving to Mexico, lock, stock, and barrel, and now they've changed their mind, and they're staying in this country where they should be, and we're very happy about it.
You seem to have not taken a day off. I've been watching Monday through Friday, then Saturday and Sunday, and a lot of people have been coming in and out, visiting you, and you actually said in the 60 Minutes interview, you want to roll up your sleeves and get to work, and you don't want a vacation.
Well, that's true. I mean, you take a little bit of a vacation every once in a while, but this has been just a great experience for me, and I love it. I love what I do. I want to help people, and we do help people, like with the Carrier folks. They're going to have a good Christmas instead of a miserable Christmas. And so I enjoy doing it. It's really not work. If it's work, you can't do it. If it's not work, it's fun. I mean, you hear the crowd outside. We're in Ohio, and we're doing a Thank You Ohio and then Thank You Iowa. We're going to do a tour throughout some of these great states that were so good to us, the swing states. We won almost all of them. And so we're going around. I guess we're going to make about 10 stops and just do thank you tours.
How's the process? You've already made a lot of selections, a couple more to go?
Yeah, we have a few more to go, but we've made some great selections, and actually more than a few, but it's been really a well-oiled machine. We're doing well. We're getting fantastic people and actually getting very good reviews. People are respecting the process and what we've done.
I think you've been more gracious and maybe more magnanimous than I would be, especially you now met with Governor Mitt Romney twice. How was that?
It was good. We got along very well. He was very, very nice in terms of his remarks afterwards, and I think it was very good. We have some terrific people and terrific people to come.
Yeah, and I assume those decisions are going to be made. You had told me throughout the campaign I would go through a list of issues: Supreme Court justice, vetting refugees, building the wall. If anything that you say, like on 60 Minutes, you said, well, part of it might be a fence. People said, oh, he's changed his mind. You haven't changed your mind because you told me that during the election.
No, we're going to build a wall. I mean, I heard that every once in a while. They'd say, well, maybe it's not going to be totally full. Now, there are certain places you don't need a wall because you have, you have mountains, you have other things, you have large and rather vicious rivers. But, no, we're building a wall. It's going to be a real wall because we're going to stop the drugs from coming in. We're going to have people come in, but they're going to come in legally. And we're going to have a great wall. We're going to have a real wall, and we're going to stop what's happening because what's happening in our country is very sad in so many different ways. But we are going to stop those drugs from coming in.
Yeah. One of the things that you have an opportunity is you have a Republican House and a Republican Senate.
First time in a long time.
First time in a long time. And even people like Paul Ryan, Mitch McConnell, you've been talking to these people regularly. How's that been going?
It's been going great. Both of them have been great. Paul and I have become, very close, I think. We agree on a lot of the things. We're going to put in a health care bill, a real strong health care bill. I think it's going to be terrific because the Obamacare is just, I tell you, look at what's happening. You see it, you report on it all the time. When you see 116% increases in Arizona, and you see the kind of numbers you're talking about, and the tremendously high deductibles where you don't even get to use it. So we're going to do something that's going to be great for the people and a lot less expensive, much better and less expensive.
I look at 4 things that I think would lead to great economic success. It reminds me a little bit of Reagan. 15% corporate tax rate, repatriation of trillions.
Right.
I think Obamacare will be like a tax cut for some people.
A big tax cut.
And energy independence is huge.
Yep.
How much of this do you think you'll be able to do through rescinding executive orders?
Well, I think we're going to do a lot of it, and I don't think we have to rescind. We're going to be rescinding executive orders, but I don't think we're going to have to use very many executive orders because we have a Congress that's going to go along with things. And I think a lot of Democrats are going to join the train, if you want to know the truth.
Have you talked to many?
People, yes, I have. And people are, you know, I know so many people in politics over the years. A lot of people say, oh, John, he's never been in politics. I've really been very active, mostly from the other side. But we're going to have a lot of Democrats joining us on a lot of these things, maybe even health care. But so many of the things that we're going to be pushing, they're common sense. And we will get a lot of support. And I think that's going to start happening very soon.
One of the things that I went through, you're still solid on Supreme Court justices, originalists.
Yeah.
Solid on the wall.
We have one to appoint very soon. We're going to have to come up with a name. I'm down to probably 3 or 4.
Are they from your list?
People from the list. They are terrific people, highly respected, brilliant people, and we'll be announcing that pretty soon too.
And you'll have extreme vetting.
Right, very extreme.
Corporate, your corporate tax rate.
Right.
And you're going to have.
And remember, we're also cutting taxes for the middle class. We're cutting taxes for virtually everybody, not just corporate. Corporate's almost.
I assume this isn't all for me. First of all, welcome to Carrier, Indianapolis, and it's an honor to welcome President-elect Trump, as well as Vice President-elect Pence, and the new governor, Governor Holcomb from Indiana today. First thing I'd like to do is thank our Carrier workers for their dedication and loyalty over many years, but especially for their continued focus and dedication during a very difficult year here in Indianapolis. Over the past couple of weeks, we've had productive discussions with President-elect Trump and Vice President-elect Pence about their plans to improve the competitiveness of the U.S. business environment through tax reform and through a more thoughtful approach to regulation. Those plans have given us a renewed confidence in the future of manufacturing here in the United States. It's why today we can talk about 1,100 jobs in Indiana going forward. So I'm pleased to announce that we have decided to keep Carrier Indianapolis. The plant will remain open and continue manufacturing operations here. We'll also designate this facility as a center of excellence for gas furnace production. We'll invest more than $16 million over the next 2 years to ensure that this remains a world-class manufacturing facility with the ability to compete globally. Thank you again for your hard work and dedication to the entire Carrier team, and I look forward to this facility continuing to deliver industry-leading products to our customers across North America. With that, it's my pleasure to introduce Vice President-elect Mike Pence.
How about another round of applause for Greg Hayes, the Chairman and CEO of United Technologies. It is great to have him in the Hoosier State. To the executives at United Technologies who are with us, to the executives with Carrier, to the great Carrier team here in Indiana. To our honored guests, Governor-elect Eric Holcomb, Indiana Speaker of the House Brian Bosma, Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett, and my fellow Hoosiers. It is great to be back home again in Indiana. And this is a great day for Indiana. And it's a great day for working people all across the United States of America. Now, the state of Indiana is very proud. We're a proud manufacturing state. We're home to low taxes, sensible regulations, great schools and roads, and the best workforce in America. Since the 1950s, Carrier has been a part of Indiana's manufacturing success story, and we've been proud of it. As governor, I couldn't be more pleased and grateful that thanks to the initiative and the leadership of President-elect Donald Trump, Carrier has decided to stay and grow right here in America. We're so grateful. We're so grateful that thanks to the initiative of our President-elect, that I'll talk about in a minute, and frankly, thanks to the confidence of Greg Hayes, United Technologies, and Bob McDonough at Carrier. The Carrier has decided to stay in Indiana, invest more than $16 million in this facility alone, and will keep more than 1,000 jobs right here in the heart of the heartland. What a difference a year makes. You know, the truth be told, job announcements are almost a daily thing here in the state of Indiana. We're at record employment today. We have more Hoosiers going to work than ever before. That's why, frankly, along with all of you who work in this facility, that day, February 10th, was a heartbreaking day when Carrier made the difficult decision to close this facility and move jobs out of our country. We met with the leaders of the company back in March, and try as we might to make the Indiana case, it was clear that the die was cast. The simple truth was that policies coming out of our nation's capital were literally driving jobs out of this country. What was missing was clear to me as your governor. What was missing was leadership and change. Well, the American people voted for change last month, and even before taking office, our President-elect provided real leadership that made the difference. You know, President-elect Donald Trump did just what he said he would do. He picked up the phone. I was actually in the room. He picked up the phone. He talked from one American to another. He talked about our plans. Our plans to make America more competitive, to reduce taxes, to roll back regulations, to put American jobs and American workers first again. He made the case for America, and Carrier decided to bet on a brighter future for the American people, and we are grateful from the bottom of our hearts. You know, I'm very humbled to be standing before you today. I truly am. My family and I are deeply moved by the opportunities the people of Indiana have given us, and now the American people have given us to serve. But I'm especially humbled as the holidays approach to have played some small role in this wonderful news, not only here in Indiana, but all across this country. But I think it's important to give credit where credit is due. First and foremost, I want to thank Greg Hayes and his team at United Technologies, Bob McDonough and the team at Carrier. Thank you for renewing your commitment to Indiana and renewing your commitment to the people of the United States of America. I also just want to thank the great Carrier team here in Indianapolis and in the state of Indiana. Your hard work, your resilience, your work ethic, even in disappointing times, I know for a fact, gave this company the confidence to double down on the future of this company and the future of the people of this state. And so I thank you, the Carrier team, for giving them the confidence to do just that. But lastly, on behalf of all the people of Indiana, allow me to thank the man we wouldn't be here without for his efforts for picking up the phone, for keeping his word. His efforts to bring us to this day of renewed hope and promise, not just here in Indiana, but really for people that know that the strength of this country comes in our ability to make things and to grow things. It's a renewed day for manufacturing in America. You know, I remember when Donald Trump was running for president, he said that if he was elected president of the United States, America would start winning again. Well, today America won. And we have Donald Trump to thank. And I got a feeling, working beside this extraordinary man, this is just the beginning of a lot more good news all across America. So, without any further ado, my fellow Hoosiers, it is my high honor and distinct privilege to introduce to you a man of action, a man of his word, and the President-elect of the United States of America, Donald Trump.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I love that red hat. Thank you, everybody. I want to thank all of the dignitaries that are with us today. We have a whole host. The mayor and the governor-elect, great people. It's a big victory for the governor-elect. He won very convincingly, so we're very proud of him. And, you know, Mike has been such a wise decision for me. When people were saying, I don't know, how good is he at decision-making, they'd always say, yeah, but he picked Mike Pence. That's a good decision. And everybody loves Mike. He's become something very special. I want to thank Greg Hayes of United Technologies, because when I called him, he was right there. I wish I could have made the call when they were doing their original decision, but it worked out just as well, other than I would have liked to have had an answer a year and a half ago. We had a tremendous love affair with the state of Indiana, because if you remember during the primaries, this was going to be the firewall. This was where they were going to stop Trump, right? And that didn't work out too well. And it was a firewall for me. It was a firewall. And we won by 16 points. And the election, we just won by 20 points, almost 20 points. And that was some